Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18, episode 11 of Sargel18 Unchained, the many faces of Jesus, here and in heaven, near-death experiences. Devron has tasked me to reveal the many faces and aspects of Jesus, the Christ, that are not really known here on earth, but are known to every soul in heaven. Again, I will put it in all layman's terms so it's easier to understand. When we talk or read about Jesus for the last 2,000 years, it's always in a flowery, all-encompassing line of thinking and feeling. And there's nothing wrong with that. Remember what he went through when he came here. Plus, God has had a number of sons, like Lucifer. But Jesus is the number one son encapsulation of all of God's abilities, and at least in this room, in God's mansion, earth. So Jesus, as in God, is the beginning and the end here, period. And earth, as I've explained before, is just one room of the many rooms in God's mansion. If I was to try to explain God's universe and all it encompasses, it would not be understood by anyone that has been alive, is alive, or will be alive. Thus is true not only in third dimensional reality, but would apply to the 6 levels your soul experiences after death and the 3rd and 2nd level of heaven. Yes, it's that complicated, beyond any level of intelligence or imagination that anyone can come up with. Beyond everything. So we skirt around and we try to explain as much as possible. The Vatican does it, the Bibles do it, kings have done it, priests have done it. I'm doing it now with direction of Devron, and we try to explain it all to you in a way you can handle it. Right. Now, Jesus and Devron and the Council of Divine Providence allowed me to come back and show the world that there is a multiverse teeming with life. And as for my orb discovery, everyone on the planet now knows it. This is part of why I came back, to raise their vibration, to raise their awareness to something that they had no idea that was there, right next to them all the time. A thankless job. At least thankless here, not up there. Alright, nothing is really solid. That's all an illusion. Everything is happening right next to us. Different dimensions, multiverse beings, aliens, and God's energy all swirling around us. People are just not aware of it, bottom line. And they shouldn't be made aware of it, because they wouldn't, if they knew too much, I gather, they wouldn't strive so hard to develop improve their soul development. Now, you can't perceive it because of the solidarity of third dimension, but God and Jesus have compassion for humanity and truth. So, in this case, a soul like me was sent to raise awareness in times of tribulation. I've done it before, and I did it again, as you all have seen in my evidence for the last 30 years. Now, to the title of the video. Here are some of the many faces of Jesus. As I have explained in my videos, Lucifer has many faces. Lucifer, Satan, devil, and so on, depending on his mood and what he wants to accomplish. Jesus also has the same ability depending on his mood or what he needs to accomplish. When I first met Jesus in 2004, he was in third dimension. He was in a good mood, almost like he was happy to be there. His face was kind and radiant and pure energy. And I did not want to leave. I wanted him to take me right there. I wanted to live in that type of unbelievably good vibration without any things involved in it. You know, it was just pure, I guess, and I hate to say it, but all right, love. It was pure love, pure good. Okay? Because love is a different vibration altogether, but I mean, Jesus encompasses this. He pulls it off beautifully. Right, he was radiant with pure energy, man. It was great. When Jesus died on the cross, he was beaten to a pulp and then was crucified. Jesus could have stopped all of that in an instant. Where's my cigarette there? In an instant. He could have stopped it all. Yep. No problem. Done. Immediately, his wounds would have healed. He could have been hung for years on that cross and never die, no matter what he did, what they did to him. Remember, he healed the blind and crippled, and he rose Lazarus from the dead. Don't you think he could have fixed himself just as easy? Of course he could have. But even Jesus is bound by free will, so he chose to let it happen in as horrible way as possible and took away our sins, thus propelling him to the level beyond the first level of heaven where God is. And I've explained this in my Heaven Speaks videos and in this line of videos too, so if you want to go back, they're right on YouTube. He is the Christ. He is the Alpha and Omega. Jesus has appeared many times and in many moods, which we call faces: lion, eagle, ox, man, to name a few. But he also appeared here, his soul, in the last 100 years, incarnate as two people to help out humanity, and he did. Franz Bardone in World War II, and Mother Teresa, witness to the atrocities of humanity, and my direct boss, as I stated on national TV in 1997. I have no problem to say who guides me and who's ahead of me here. None at all. Okay. Now, these souls would be considered splinters of Jesus, and he can have as many splinters as he wants. You all know Teresa, but I have only met one other person in 30 years in metaphysics that knew of Franz Bardone. Look him up. Do your own research. And just a point here, Bardone's teachings were the basics of my alchemical and magical life. Here is one, which is one of the reasons I made so many tremendous strides over others in metaphysics. I'll expand more about that in the future. But yes, he was here. Jesus was here as Mother Teresa, and Jesus was here as Franz Bardone, which really put a thorn in Hitler's side. He could have destroyed Hitler and his whole army in a flash of his hand, but he didn't. That's not what it was about. Okay? Come on. Now here I'm going to show you pics of what I'm talking about. First, Jesus as Mother Teresa. There he is. Look at what she went through. Look what she bore witness to. And here is Franz Bardone. Back in, I believe this was taken in the 30s. Jesus again. Now, when I met Jesus, all right, face to face in my home in 2004, he was great. Hold on a second. Let me see what I wrote here. Right. He was nice. All right. And full of love, full of energy. And this is how he kind of, I found a picture that's close enough to show you what I saw him as. Basically that. Good looking, smart, and powerful as all hell. Beyond powerful. Godlike. Now, I'm going to show you in 2037, I have told you, I've made that prediction for 10 years now. Jesus will come back and stop Armageddon, Lucifer's War of 34, which will start in 2034. He'll stop it, dead cold. But how is he going to come back? What is he going to look like? Is he going to look like the way he looked when he was meeting with me in 2004 in my home? No. He's coming back to kick ass. Lucifer's and his demons and all that shit. So here is what he's going to look like. Basically. All powerful and ready to do business. Get the job done. Let's get on with reality. Now, as you all know, and as I've told you, my soul is from the third level of heaven. I've come back many times. One as the Witch of Endor, which I have copied completely and done here as Sargel 18 to help out humanity and what's coming and all. Now, in heaven, we all know, of course, Jesus. And he's around. But he can appear any way he wants to us, to our souls. You know, as the classic Jesus, as a new improved Jesus and all. But we also see Jesus when he's not appearing as something that we can understand tangibly. Pure energy, golden energy of pure good and creativity and God's love. And this is what this looks like. That's how you see Jesus in heaven most of the time when he is doing his thing. Unless he decides to appear differently. That's what Jesus looks like in heaven. Okay. Now, in closing, Jesus can appear in the flesh, spirit, or incarnate in the guise of a human. It all depends on what he needs to do to help our soul development. So please be nice and respect him. He died for you. I hope everybody's had a great Labor Day weekend. We got one more day tomorrow. Stay prayed up, and peace out.